What is up, everybody? So in this video I am going to do an SEO audit slash review of Chalene Johnson's website. Chalene is one of the top online marketers. She markets to women, of course, and helps them with a variety of things such as dieting, as you can tell here, and creating online businesses and online courses. Now, who am I? My name is Will Chow. I am a advanced SEO strategist, which stands for search engine optimization. I help people rank on Google, and it is not button pushing or technical stuff. It is a very holistic style of SEO that I do that's really geared towards the longest term strategy towards ranking the highest on Google, not with tricks, but by actually providing the best content possible and optimizing it technically in terms of site speed and all those other details, meta tags, all those things to signal to Google that your site is amazing. So let's just get started with this Chalene Johnson SEO audit review. I picked her because I think she has some room for improvement. I think a lot of these online marketers, they achieve their traffic and success through other means, through collabs, through just pumping out content on Instagram or social media, and because of that sometimes their SEO is subpar, and with just a few tweaks you can signal to Google something that will really help you. It looks like she just passed 1 million likes on Facebook. Congrats. So let's just get started right off the bat. First things first, page title. So this is the page title for your home page. This is exceptionally important because it tells Google the main theme of your site. If you don't target the right keywords here, or you don't optimize this correctly, you're missing out on a lot of traffic because your main domain, ChaleneJohnson.com, has the most weight, the most authority, and has the highest chance of ranking well. So what's the problem with this right here? Well, as you can see, she keyword stuffed it to death, put in tons and tons of keywords. Now that's better than nothing. I've seen some sites, quite established sites, who have like nothing here, or just random garbly gook here, or the domain name, and they're not keyword targeting anything. She, of course, kind of stuffed it with everything. Now, of course, another kind of problem with her maybe potential business theme is that she's kind of covering so many different topics. Now, that's still not the way you want to do it, because first off, it's way too long of a page title. That's going to get cut off by Google, and it's not going to show up well in search. So if you search Chalene Johnson, you get this like cut up thing. This is all that shows for search engines when searchers search you. So that's not the most compelling title, and with this amount of space you want to maximize it for the maximum click-through rate. And right now it's Chalene Johnson official site, create the fit life you deserve set. That's not the most understandable or effective page title, nor is it targeting probably the highest search volume keyword you want. So again, I'm going to quickly go through some of these terms I'm mentioning so you guys don't get confused. I know there's some beginners who may be watching this video. So search volume or search traffic denotes the amount of search traffic that you can get per month from a specific search term. In fact, Google tells you, if you Google keyword planner, Google has its own keyword planner where you can brainstorm and plug in keywords, and it'll tell you how many people search that term per month. So that's where the term search volume comes from. Now, right now, just based off what I can see, I doubt she's targeting this or done her research, because just based off the years of search engine keyword research I've done, I'm pretty sure that very few people are searching create the fit life you deserve. They're searching shorter terms like fitness expert or become fitter or something like that. So of course I know you have to make it compelling, but you also want to kind of target. So that's the first thing from an SEO standpoint. Now, of course, again, this is only a short video, so if I were to do this seriously, I have all these tools at my disposal, and of course there's also all sorts of other stuff I would do, advanced SEO, and I would come back with a comprehensive list of everything that I could do for the site. And so that leads me to my next recommendation, which is 404 errors. I'm absolutely sure that most sites have 404 errors. So if you have 404 errors, which are broken links, that means like if you're going to a site and you're linking to it, and it's broken, that's an issue. So run a 404 error. That's something that all sites have to do. Google it. There's plenty of guides out there. Now, from a user experience standpoint, this is something that I think is something that most SEOs miss out on. Other SEO experts will not say this because they get over focused on the technical side of things. But here's what you're seeing here. I love the opt-in, but let's take a look at these blog posts. Okay, the images are just huge, and then in terms of the text previews, it's so little. You're giving so little that it's not compelling enough for them to click through. Nor is it like obvious how to click through. You have this tiny font here that says continue reading. So instead, to give a fresh pair of eyes on things, I would cut down on the image. I guarantee you, if you run a heat map and track how people are interacting with the site and actually measure it, you can do this with tools called heat maps. I'm willing to bet, and you can test this with data, that people are less and less likely to scroll down far. And you're killing your chances even more by making the images so big. And I would understand it if the images were unique and original and compelling, but let's face it, these are stock images. We all know you bought these at a stock library. The one that I'm all right with is this one, but even this one, I mean, Chalene, I know you have this gallery of pictures of yourself, and you just chose this one. Maybe if this one was a picture that was very specific to your topic, pseudoscientist, maybe you were in a lab coat or something, but come on, these stock images are not compelling enough for people to scroll down. And compared to the text that's really going to be unique and really make people want to click in and read the rest of your post, that's an issue. That you are missing out on potential opportunities to get more people to click, to more people to read your post, opt in, and spend money with you so you make more money and impact more people. Now, there's so many things you're doing right here, so I don't want to beat you up for that. You already know all the things you're doing right, so I won't harp on those. I mean, the website, the email opt-ins, all those. So don't think that I'm beating you up, Chalene. But just letting you know, for brevity's sake, I know your time is valuable. My time is valuable too. I'm just going to cut to the chase here and stick with the things that need changing. The next thing that I highly recommend that you do is really make sure that your blog titles are specifically targeting a keyword phrase. Now, I'm sure that you would have done this. So another huge thing that I highly recommend you do is you make sure your blog titles are as compelling as possible. How do you do this? Two big ways. One, let's say your topic's improved body image. Throw that into Google. Throw that in the BuzzSumo. BuzzSumo sorts everything by the most social shares. You get a sense very quickly of what type of headlines get the most social shares or are most compelling to read. So perhaps you could have worded your title in a way that is improving to entice people to share it already. So maybe you could have worded, instead of 3 ways to quickly improve body image, you could have said 3 activities that have improved people's body image. Or this one's cool, how naked yoga helps improve body image and reduce anxiety. Maybe you didn't write about naked yoga, but you did write about acknowledging the truth. How acknowledging the truth helps improve body image. Or brave women, again, this aligns perfectly with your brand. Brave women bear all and reveal 3 secrets to improving their body image. As you can see, this kind of touches into copywriting, which I'm huge on as well, but this is a SEO audit, not a copywriting audit, so I will, restrain myself there and just focus on the SEO. Now, why I still mention this is because nowadays more and more SEO is being tied with all those other things, user experience, usefulness of the content, because we're thinking long term here. Sure, you can do these trickery tactics that might work for the next 1 to 3 years, but in the longest term, Google wants the best content to rank, and to do that you have to create the best content, not trick Google. So that's why I mentioned these things. Now let's talk sidebar. First things first, I love the fact that you've kept it fairly minimalistic. 1, 2, 3, 4 widgets. I love that. There's so many online marketers who are making so much money, and they tell everyone, keep your widgets minimalistic. And yet themselves, they can't resist the temptation to do it. I love that you've kept it to 4. I would even minimize it even more, but overall, not a bad thing. I love that you put Facebook here, but it could be a good benefit or a bad benefit. How do you tell? Well, you go to SimilarWeb and you plug in your domain. SimilarWeb tells you your traffic as well as where your traffic's coming from, whether it's social, Google search, or whatever, and it breaks it down by percentage. Now, of course, if you have Google Analytics installed, it's even more accurate, so I would go there and check on Google Analytics. But since I don't have access to your Google Analytics, I get a rough estimate. 20% of your traffic is coming from social, and let's see how much of that is Facebook. So 50% of that is Facebook, which amounts to 10% of your traffic is coming from Facebook. Now that's a hefty percentage, and understandably you would put this here. I would say be careful with this, because a large portion comes from search and a large portion comes from referral. The only people I recommend to put a social media widget here in such a big amount of real estate as opposed to a few icons are people who really attract a large portion of their traffic from that social realm, and it pays to do so. There's plenty of great examples. There's a lot of sites like BuzzFeed or Lifehacker who generate millions of views per week or per day sometimes. James Clear is another example. And they attract 70% of it, like a huge percent, from Facebook. Therefore, it makes complete sense for them to put a widget there. So James Clear, he gets about 13%. That's not as high as I thought it was. I think it was markmanson.net. He's another personal development blogger, and I believe his is monstrous. He gets like a vast majority of his traffic from Facebook. So in his case, it makes perfect sense for him to use Facebook. Yep, it's 23%, and like 90% of it is from Facebook. Okay, 65%. Still a fairly large percentage, which is why you put there. If yours isn't, and you're getting like 0% or 1% or something small, I would recommend taking that off and putting like Pinterest or maybe Instagram, or maybe none of that. Again, I'm sure you're a smart girl. Maybe you've done your math and you've figured out that Facebook traffic has been converting the most. Now, another thing, let's take a look at the URLs. So URLs are really important because the right and wrong URL actually does affect your traffic, because Google may have a easier or hard time really understanding what your page is about, and they will rank it accordingly. Similarly, the best concise URLs are easier to type in, easy for readers to understand, and clearly show Google what you're targeting if you have done the proper keyword targeting. So I just threw a lot of words at you. Here's essentially what I'm talking about here. This is a fairly good URL structure. I've seen worse, a lot worse. I've just seen a ton of spaghetti text where it's just a bunch of random numbers and letters. However, it's not perfect. And the reason is because you're breaking it out by category. Now, that's not horrible, but I would venture to say that another way of doing it is to put this under blog, or cut this completely, or cut it even more to keep it very concise, like 3 ways to improve body image. You're essentially making it more concise, telling Google what this is about, and making sure you target the keyword that you found gets search volume from Keyword Planner in a very concise way. Now, your way of doing it is not bad at all, so it wouldn't be the end of the world if you did it that way. The reason I recommend blog is to denote and tell Google that this is part of your blog content that's coming out, rather than a product page or resource page or sales page. And you'd be surprised, Google is still not as sophisticated and smart in that area as we hope it to be yet. It tries its best, but you'd be surprised. There's a lot of problems there. Now, the last big tip for you, and again, there's a lot of other awesome things that I wish I could talk about, but here's the biggest impact thing. I know I've already mentioned a lot and it may be overwhelming, but this big thing is probably the biggest thing you can do to increase your sales. So Google wants to know what are your most important pages. And unfortunately, it sometimes doesn't know. It tries, but it doesn't know. So let's say that your most important page is your product page. Let's say it is your diet beta test page. Okay, it can't be that one because it's on a different domain. It has to be on the same domain. So let's just say, for the sake of this, that your most popular page is this one right here, top 3 tips for boosting metabolism and weight. And how you determine that, first off, is you find out which page converts the most into sales. Which page do people land on your site, which converts the most people into potential sales? And you can actually track the journey and customer journey process and which page actually does this by using Google Analytics. Just search up a guide on how to do it, but essentially it's basically learning how to set up a goal in Google Analytics. Once you have a goal set up in Google Analytics, similar to how you set up a Facebook conversion pixel, again, it's a lot easier than it sounds. You can start tracking and figuring out which pages are best. But let's just say this is the one. You found that many people Google your name or found you from social media, and then they stumble across this post on boosting metabolism and weight loss. And then from there, they end up converting and buying maybe Courageous Confidence Club, your product. And that is where you get most of your money. Well, if that's the case, then you really want to tell Google that this is one of your most important pages, so that they start ranking this page higher, and that they start highlighting this page more when people search Chalene Johnson. You know how Pat Flynn's a great example. When you search smart passive income or passive income, Pat Flynn's site comes up. But since he's such a authority, he gets a number of subdomains under his domain. And you, in a case like this, you want your most important pages to show up. So you need to tell Google what your most important pages are. You don't want something random showing up like a blog page when you want maybe your course showing up here. So how do you do this? And it's not just about these sub listings, it's also about getting your most important page to rank higher for all the key terms it wants. Very simple. All you have to do is link to it more on your page. How do you do that? Put it into your footer, and also put it into more of your other posts. As a caveat, make sure it's relevant. So if this is on pseudoscience and it really doesn't make sense to just randomly link to a post on metabolism, don't. But whenever it is relevant, bias towards linking more to your most important pages. And this will tell Google, oh, this page is really important, and it'll shoot up the rankings. And another thing to do is to minimize the amount of links that you don't have to have in your footer or in a page in total, because when you have more and more links, the power of each of these links gets diminished and diffused across all of these links. So if you have maybe only 6 links or 3 links in your footer, and they're linking to your most important pages, you're pushing more emphasis and importance, or otherwise called link equity or link juice, to your most important pages. So I just want to over deliver. I know that was my last tip, but I want to end with a extra bonus tip for Chalene Johnson, and of course all of the other visitors and viewers of this video who want to kind of use these tips for their own site. Set up Google Webmaster Tools. It's very easy. It takes like 2 minutes to set up. You can search up the instructions. Here's my site, willyoulaugh.com, and then once it's set up, all you have to do is go to search traffic, search analytics. Then you want to hit the pages button, and this gives you all your pages. So from there you find your most popular page. In my case it is this one, and then make sure all of these 4 at the top are ticked. That's clicks, impressions, CTR, and position. And then you want to hit queries. So what this does is it tells you all the search terms that people have searched to land on your page from Google. Now this is gold, because now you know what people search to find your page, and because of this you can find all the search terms that you forgot to target. So what do you do now? You can sort these by impressions or by most clicks, and then you go through them, and you might find a very popular search term, like in my case it might be social media marketing agency, that you didn't even consider targeting or mentioning on the page. So what do? You take this phrase and you put it in the blog post itself of that page, which will optimize it and improve and capture more traffic to that page. What else can you do? Well, if it is a subtopic like social media marketing agency and you forgot to mention and talk about that subtopic in the actual post, now you know to add it, because you know people are looking for this problem to be solved and you haven't had it solved yet in your post. Now this works great for how-to posts, because maybe you did a how-to post on losing metabolism and weight loss, but then you find out, yeah, I'm capturing a lot of that traffic, but I also realize people are searching for how to boost metabolism so that they can lose fat in their arms, and you forgot to talk about that in this post. Well, now you can add it to this post, make it more thorough and useful, and those people who land on this page who want that problem now have it solved. And rather than bouncing away and telling Google with the high bounce rate that your page isn't as good, which lowers your page's rankings and makes you miss out on traffic, you actually get to keep that traffic. And what's more, those people are more satisfied. They'll stick around longer on your site. Maybe they'll check out your course. Maybe they'll buy from you, and you get more money. And bada bing, bada boom, you're happy. You're richer. You're sexier. Everyone's happier. The world's a better place, and you can donate that money back to the bank, to charity, whoever else, to me. Who knows? I gotta go. Thanks for watching this. Hopefully this helped. Feel free to send me any questions. I will answer them all free of charge. I will see you later. All you gotta do is go to willyoulaugh.com, hit that contact page, and I will help you out for free. If you have any requests for other online marketers or influencer or whoever the heck, it doesn't have to be an online marketer. It could be like this Chalene Johnson, a fitness trainer. If you want another review or audit for free like I just did, send me a link, send me the page, and I'll do it. I also do copywriting audits as well. This was an SEO audit, a quick one, and we'll see what we can do. Thanks for watching.